I think many people in the, let's say, late 50s or even into their 60s, we begin to realize that maybe we have too much house. Uh, the home you may have built to have plenty of space for your family and activities may not be necessary or as necessary. Keeping a big home has a lot of overhead and not just expenses, but more upkeep time and lots more responsibility. The fact is, people's housing expectations have grown over the last 30 or 40 years. I think a lot of us grew up in homes that were a lot smaller than what the average person expects to live in today. Um, I think, like for me, I'm not probably not unusual, but I grew up in a family of four in a two-bedroom house with a attic converted into a bedroom. But that's very typical. Now, if everybody doesn't have their own room, their own bathroom, their own TV, it's considered cruel. But if we can live in a modest place, now I don't mean you have to live in a shack, but maybe something a little more affordable than, well, what our peers are living in.
And I live in a van down by the river.
Now, I'm not saying that you have to really get to an uncomfortable level, but do we really need a four-bedroom, 2,500 square foot plus home that's actually more of a burden when you really think about it, especially at the later stages of life? So I'm not saying to go sell your house. Well, not necessarily, but you sort of need to right size your financial profile, and it's something we should really consider. One thing I should add too is, should you look for a new place, a smaller place, or even a rental place, keep in mind, even if you're totally healthy and you're in your late 50s or early 60s, think in terms of yourself, I should say, in 20 years when you're 80 years old or so, or maybe older, and are you going to want to climb those stairs? Also, you're going to want a place that's in closer proximity to things you can walk to. Your ability to drive might be a little constrained uh, in 20 years, or your friends might not be able to drive and visit you, so then you get isolated. So you don't want to be out in the sticks somewhere. Maybe you want to be closer to, uh, in town, so to speak, and not isolated. You're not going to want to walk upstairs to the bedroom or climb down in the basement to do your laundry. So think in these terms. The other thing, a good investment now while you have more cash flow is, if you are staying in your house, make sure you add some of the enhancements to make it more senior friendly. Now, again, I'm not saying you put a wheelchair ramp on your, front steps or something, but I just mean some of the things like, handles in the bathroom and all that type of stuff. Yeah, you probably don't need them now, but in 15 years or so, it's going to be more difficult to, pay for that kind of stuff. I mean, just take care of it now. It can't hurt.